This is a popular decoration in the fall. Some people call it flint corn. It reminds me of this painter, Kandinsky, and specifically this picture where he does circles within circles. It reminds me of the kernels. We're going to combine the two ideas to make this Corndinsky.
It's actually an ornamental corn. Some people refer to it as Indian corn or rainbow corn, and you're going to see that it has beautiful stripes on the leaves. The ears on this corn are going to be red, turquoise, yellow, orange, green, all on the same ear. So they're very, very pretty and rainbow in two different ways. This corn here is a little bit different from sweet corn. Just like sweet corn, the ears with silks that are white or still light green, these are not ready. But when they start to darken like this and dry out, you know that that's starting to get ready. On a normal sweet corn, I would harvest this ear. But since this is ornamental, I need these kernels to completely dry out. So I'm gonna wait until the entire husk turns brown, and then I'll remove that ear from this plant and take it inside to dry, further dry.
Awesome, great. So you dry it and then you can use it as a decoration. Maybe at Thanksgiving time would be perfect.
Perfect.
The supplies you'll need today: white paper, scissors, a pencil, glue, and some crayons. What we're going to do is, first step, fold the paper in half. I have my paper tall like a building. I'm going to fold the long side to the long side in half. And then I'm going to draw with my pencil. My pencil is here today for planning lines. I'm going to do a rainbow from one side of the paper to the other at the top, a rainbow. And then I'm going to do a letter U on the bottom. I'm going to connect my rainbow and my letter U, and now I have an oval. I'm going to, with my paper folded in half, so I have two, I'm going to cut. Remember, when you cut, 2 fingers go in the big hole, 1 thumb goes in the little hole, thumb up, and bring the paper to you. You're going to cut the papers 2 at one time by keeping them folded. Now that I cut 2 at one time, keeping them folded, I have one piece of paper here. That will be for my husk, and one will be the cob of my corn. And what I'm going to do with my pencil, I'm going to draw my planning lines. I'm going to draw about 4 lines top to bottom, vertical lines. And then I'm going to draw horizontal lines to make many rows of squares. Then I'm going to use a brown crayon. Brown is neutral, and I'm going to draw really big circles, bigger almost than the squares, and I'm going to fill in each square with a brown circle. Sometimes they're oval. Make big brown circles. These circles represent the kernels. It's okay if they overlap a little bit. I'd rather that they overlap and be big than be small. So I'm going to make that big. After I fill up my oval with circles for the kernels, I'm going to pick the warm color crayons. The warm colors are the colors of fire. They make you think of warmth. And I'm going to put dots. So these small kernels that I drew in, that's perfect. They're dots and circles. Remember, we're making a Corndinsky. Kandinsky, the artist, did dots and circles around to fill up his work. So I'm just going to do dots in random spots with the red. And then I'm going to do dots in random spots with the orange. And dots in random spots with the yellow. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do circles around my dots, like a red circle around the yellow and orange. I'm just going to continue to do this with orange and yellow and brown, putting dots in circles until I fill up the whole oval, the whole cob with dots and circles. Red, orange, and yellow, they are the warm colors. When used in art, they give a warm feeling to your work. Warm colors are popular in the fall. The leaves change to the red, orange, yellow, warm colors. Brown is a neutral, but the brown crayon is a little bit more of a warm brown, so we could use that too. Now that I have dots and circles in all of my kernels, I can go over this with a yellow crayon and fill in any space so that I have no white space. I'm actually going to use watercolors today. I'm going to use watercolors, and what I'm going to do is crayon resists watercolors, so it'll stay put and push away the watercolor. So any place that there is not crayon, I could put yellow watercolor over. I'm going to continue painting or coloring until the entire background, everything around the circles, has yellow behind it. I want to make sure this is nice and neat and leaves no white space on my cob. This technique that I'm using is called a crayon resist. Crayon will push away the watercolors and the watercolors fill the space behind. I can paint right over my crayon because it's resisting the watercolor. It stays put. I'm going to leave this to dry, and now I'm going to work on my husk. My husk I'm going to color with straight lines. I'm going to pick a brown color, and I'm just going to go straight lines. This is kind of a light brown, a tan. Up and down, up and down. And I'll take my regular brown and go up and down, up and down. You might want to mix brown and a little yellow. I'm going to go up and down, and I'm catching my mess with my table saver. You're going to go up and down, and then go back over with a little bit of yellow to make a husk. If you don't want to color a husk, a good choice for a paper for a husk would be a paper bag. So if you have paper bags, you can trace this oval onto a paper bag and then cut it out, and that could be your husk. After I did my lines on my husk, I colored it in. I'm just going to cut it a diagonal from one corner down to the other. So I'm going to go up the hill. Diagonal cut. And that makes 2 points at the top and like a rounded shape at the bottom. I'm going to bring my corn back over, my Corndinsky. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give an accordion fold to my husk, and I'm going to fold down, flip over, fold down, flip over, fold down, flip over, fold down, flip over, fold down. And now this has a wavy texture to it. And I'm just going to take my 2 husks, and I'm going to put glue on the side, And I'm gonna glue my husk on, and I'm gonna have to count. You could use regular glue. And I'm gonna count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you do your corn Dinsky, be sure to kind of not cover up too many of the circles. I'm gonna crunch mine back up so I don't cover up so many circles. And then I'm done. Now it's your turn to work. Remember, draw the grid, the vertical lines, horizontal lines, and then circles within circles. You need dots and spots filling up the space, and use only warm colors. Once you're done with your corn Dinsky, don't forget to show me. I can't wait to see what you make.